Because interest rates are so high and affordability is so low, I'm having people all the time reach out to me about purchasing pre-sale condos, and because there's really not a lot of information about this online at all, pretty much whatsoever, in this video, I'm going to cover the entire process of purchasing a pre-sale condo. I'm that Agent Kelly. I talk about Canadian real estate and my local market of Abbotsford and the Fraser Valley. If you're into that, subscribe to the channel, like this video. If you want pre-sale deals right to your inbox, there is a link down in my description that will get you that. So obviously the main reason why people want to buy pre-sales right now is you can put down a low deposit, 10-15%, not have to get a mortgage at today's interest rates, and most likely 2 to 3 years from now, interest rates are going to be, quite substantially lower than what they are right now. So the first thing you're going to want to know about purchasing a pre-sale condo is the fact that in BC, by law, there is a 7-day rescission period, meaning you buy a pre-sale from the day the contract is accepted. For 7 days after that, you can back out of that contract for any reason. You can literally just say, I don't want it anymore. You can back out. You don't really need a justification. That's just some safety measures that the BC government has put in to help buyers when it comes to purchasing pre-sales, because it's obviously very easy to buy. Now, the next thing you're going to want to know is, do you need a mortgage right now? And no, you don't. However, there is a caveat to that. You don't need a mortgage until it's finished being built, maybe a month and a half to 2 months out away from it, finished being built, which could be a year and a half, 2 years, 4 years away from now. That being said, if you're not well capitalized, I recommend that you get what's called a firm approval. I think the lenders call it a builder cap rate. RBC does this for sure. I think TD does, and I think even BMO, but the guy that I typically use is with RBC. That's what I know best, but RBC will basically give firm approvals on pre-sale purchases for up to 48 months, I believe it is. Meaning for 48 months, they're going to hold an interest rate for you, hold an appraisal, and hold your approval. Now, they do approve you at a higher than current market interest rate for the luxury of getting that approval, but that is really not the important part of the approval. The important part of the approval is that a lot can change over 2, 3, 4 years, like market fluctuations, but not only that, you in your personal life, right? So if you change jobs and now you suddenly don't have 6 months of income or 2 years of income or whatever the case may be, they're still going to honor the approval that they gave you based on your job at that time when you got the approval 2, 3 years ago. And not only that, let's just say the market tanks 20%, they are still going to appraise your unit at what you bought it at 2, 3, 4 years ago. Meaning you won't have appraisal issues, you won't have income or mortgage application issues. And let's just say the interest rate goes down. Well, now you can just get a new approval. You can shop for different approvals and get a new one at a lower interest rates. And if the interest rates are higher, well then excellent. You won anyways, because now you have the approval for the lower interest rate you can use. So sometime before you buy a pre-sale condo, the sooner the better, I would recommend that you go speak to either a mortgage broker or somebody at one of those 3 lenders that I named earlier in the video, and talk about getting this approval on a pre-sale unit and what that looks like with your current situation. Now, full disclosure, I do have a lot of clients that don't get the approval. I don't recommend it, but I have clients that buy 2, 3 of these units a year that are super well capitalized, and they're just like, whatever, if I have to pull capital from somewhere else to close on it, I will. Again, don't recommend you doing that, but just to put it out there, some people don't opt into getting the approval. It's not a necessity. I just recommend it, both professionally and personally recommend that you go do it. Now you've got your approval, the next step is picking a project. If the project is a massive project that everybody knows about in an amazing location with one of the bigger developers and one of the higher end marketing firms are marketing the project, chances are they're going to run the sales process as a lottery. And how lotteries work is they're basically going to give you what's called a suite submission form. I will put one on the screen. So with any projects like this, the demand is always going to be high. It's no matter what the market's doing, the demand is always high. Even High Street Village, which launched in like literally the worst time ever at the bottom of the market in 2022 when demand was literally dead, still sold out in 2 weeks via a lottery. So that being the case, let's just say you want the B plan. It's a 1-bed, 1-bath on the 2nd floor specifically. That's your ideal choice. Now let's just say there's only 3 of those units in the entire building. The 2nd floor only has 3 B plans. Maybe 30 people Their ideal choice is the B plan on the second floor. Well, now you've only got a 10% chance of getting one. So whenever a project comes out like this, you have to decide how important it is to you that you get exactly what you want, or you just get something in that project. Most of my clients just want something. And in that case, I tell them to leave the suite selection form as broad as they possibly can, but not so broad that if you actually get selected a unit, that you still want the unit that was selected within that broad selection. Because what will happen is that if you want the B plan on the second floor only, and by the time they get to your submission form and they pull your name out of the hat and all of them are sold, what's gonna happen with your form? It goes in the trash. But if your name gets pulled and you have on that sheet that you want the B plan on any floor, okay, the second floor, they're all sold out. Third floor, they're all sold out. Oh, we've got one on the fourth floor facing the courtyard. Boom, that's your unit. Or maybe you want the B plan on any floor as your first choice and the B1 plan on any floor as your second choice. That way, if literally every single B plan in the entire building is gone and your name gets chose, they just move down to the B1. So let's just say that you take the B plan on the fourth floor facing the courtyard, right? You accept the contract, that 7-day rescission period has started. Now there will be some type of initial deposit due within that first 7 days. It can be as little as 5% and it can be as much as 10%. The most common that I see is 10%, but currently right now with the state of the market, I'm seeing a lot of 5% now and then another 5% in 30 or 60 days to form that full 10%. During that 7-day rescission period, we're going to review both the contract of purchase and sale and the disclosure statement. The contract is basically between you and the developer, all the terms. And then the disclosure statement basically outlines the entire project. And there's a lot of, if this happens, then this happens. What if this happens, then this happens within that disclosure statement. And it's my job to basically go through all of that, explain some of the key terms to you, and also make sure that there's nothing funky within those contracts or those documents. Everything's okay. Mortgage is good. You know, we've got the money to satisfy the deposit requirements. We've read through the contract and the disclosure. The 7 days is up. Now you've bought the unit. In 30 to 60 days, you may have to make another 5% deposit. Sometimes it may be a year from now. Sometimes it may be a year and a half from now. But basically, the only thing you have to do now from now until completion is pay the rest of the deposit, or sometimes pay none of it if they ask for all of it up front before the 7 days. And you essentially just, do nothing for the next 2 to 4 years. So that is buying a pre-sale. Like I said, if you want pre-sale deals to your email, I have a newsletter for exactly that. I handpick them, the things that I think are the best deals. You can sign up to that and you'll get them almost weekly, probably weekly. Otherwise, subscribe, like the video. I'm that Agent Kelly. I'm making moves to move EU. Peace.